Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and this is what we're going to make today. And you might say, what in the world is that? Well, this is called a paper roll. Now, you can make these out of fabric, out of just pieces, little pieces of scrap paper, make them all different sizes, shapes, forms, whatever you want to do. But I wanted mine to be all 4 inches so that I could use them for pockets. But I know you've seen these all over YouTube. They're very popular right now in the journal world and the crafting world and the scrapping world and all kinds of things. So I'm just going to show you how to make this. Now I've just got mine tied up. Some people have the little dowels. They can roll them around. I didn't have any that was the right size, so I just used what I had. So mine's quite a long one. Uh-oh. Hang on, let me change my setting. Looks like I've got some. Okay. There we go. Now I've got the autofocus off. It was trying to autofocus. So mine's just some scraps. And then I took my washi tape. This is a good way to use up that washi tape that we all have. I took my washi tape and put in where I joined them. And then I stitched. I did a zigzag stitch on there, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to sew. You can just glue them together. I did do a little bit of embossing on one end, but I found a little, I learned a little secret. You don't need to do the embossing if you've got a really intricate embossing folder like this one is on single-sided paper. See, I did it on single-sided. Most of these are single-sided. And on some of them, like this one, it kind of tore through, so I had to put lots of extra washi there and stitch on it a little bit more. But just make sure that when you're, the ones that you're going to emboss on, that they're double-sided, not single-sided. You see on that double-sided one right there, it did really, really well. I love that. But then the single-sided, it's kind of almost torn through. So you can emboss all the way down. I just embossed part of the way just to see what it would look like, and I like that look, so I'll probably go back and emboss the rest of it. But then when you get started making a journal or something like that, you can just come through and cut off pieces of this and make your pockets and things. You can just cut off ever how big you want your pocket, just cut that much off and use it. So that is what these are used for, and it's just another way to use up those scraps that we all have, and we're all trying to find a way to use them up. Now, I'm just going to lay this aside. I'm not going to try to roll it back up right now. I just used this little thing right here. I don't know what this is. It's just a little tube. I just used this to roll mine around and then glued it. But like I said, if you have some of those smaller dowels, you can roll it around that and then tie it, and they make really cute little gifts that you can put in Happy Mail and things like that. Now, I'm going to start out, and what I start out doing is I just use a line on my paper here. Let's don't start out with that one. And then I'll just lay one down. And see, mine are all different. Some of them are narrow, some of them are wide. But I try to keep them all at, like the same width here. Maybe 4 inches or 3 inches. Just how wide you want to make them. I make a lot of my pockets 4 inches tall. So that's why I decided on the 4 inches. Now you can also go through and ink around these before you put them down. I'm not going to, because I'm going to stitch. And I'm probably going to stitch with a brown thread. So I'm just going to leave mine as it is. Now when you glue, what you need to do is I glue a few on top, and then I go and I put one underneath. That way you've kind of alternated it, and you don't have all of those glued the same way. All of them are not on the top, so that you get more, if you had them all glued on the top, then eventually it would get taller and taller. So I kind of put one on top, one on bottom, one on top, one on bottom. I just alternate it. Like this one will go on top, and then the next one will go on bottom. And I try to keep one edge, I don't cut all my paper exactly even, but I try to keep this top edge even. And then if this bottom is not, then I can go back and trim that off when I get started sewing, or right before I sew, I can trim that off. So just keep one edge really even. And it doesn't matter if here you go a little bit crooked or not. That doesn't matter. All right, now on this one, I'll put this one underneath. So I just slide it up under there. And I just put a little bit of glue since I'm going to sew mine. But if you're not going to stitch them, then go ahead and put quite a bit of glue on there to hold them together. I just find that stitching them makes them stronger, and I like the look. So, and if you don't have a big sewing machine, you can do this with that little small sewing machine that I've showed in quite a few of my videos. It sews through this paper perfectly, no problem at all. So I will link that sewing machine below. I think it's like $30 or something. It's not expensive at all. It doesn't do the zigzag stitch, but it will do, you know, just your regular straight stitch, which you could do that on this. You don't have to do zigzag. And I just start sliding it down. And you can make these as long or as short as you want, but keep in mind, when you're making them, the longer you get, you know, the more difficult it is to get under your sewing machine. I just roll it up and stick it under there, and then roll it up and stick it under there. You know, I just kind of go like that, but you can do long ones or short ones. I like kind of long ones. Gives me a lot more to choose from when I start doing my pockets. This is great for junk journaling. If you do a lot of junk journaling, these are great for junk journals. And like I said, you can do this with fabric as well. You don't have to use paper. I've seen people do it with fabric, with laces, different trims, all kinds of things. It's just very, very popular out there right now. But I'm just liking the idea of being able to use my scraps. Now, again, I'm using a variety of scraps. I'm just adding whatever I come to in here. You can coordinate your scraps if you want to, like do all blues or do all browns or do, you know, things like that. I'm just putting whatever I found in my little stash down through here. Because when I come to journaling, it doesn't matter to me as long as I can cut off a piece that kind of matches my journal. So you can do that too. Just, you know, if you want to choose all of your teals, you can do that and put just use your different colors of teal. Or if you want to use your different shades of red, you can do that too. Just kind of adapt this to what you want. But just keep in mind that you're using those scraps, things that you won't have to throw away. And see how easy can this be. This is just very, very simple. The thing that takes the most time is getting all of your paper cut to the same height. Now, you don't have to do that. Like I said, there's some people that are making theirs they just pick up a scrap and just put it down. Doesn't matter if it's wide or if it's narrow. They just pick up the scrap and put it down there. I just kind of wanted all mine the same height so I can make some cute little pockets. Okay, I've got a few more here, but I think that's as far as I'm going to go on this one for right now. And then I'm just going to look down this side in any place that I feel like that needs trimming a little bit. I'm just going to trim that off, even them up. And looks like they were pretty good. I didn't take a lot of time when I cut. I just cut real quick. Most of it I cut by hand too. So that will work right there. Okay, and now we'll just grab some washi. And I just keep my washi in one of these little things. I think this was actually, I got it off of Amazon. I'll link it below. I think this is actually like for fingernail polish or something like that. But it works great for my washi. So, I don't know if this one's going to peel up or not. Some of mine are very, very old. Okay, let's just go to another one. That one's not going to do what I want it to do. This one is pretty. And I don't always put the coordinating right on the coordinating paper. Sometimes I will do, I'll put this color on a pink or something. So kind of mix it up a little bit. To me that makes it prettier. This one is one that I've had for quite a while. And you don't have to put this on every seam. You can just put it on one every now and then. Doesn't have to go on all of them. And I think throwing in a little black every now and then looks good. This is like a black airmail. I like that. And then we'll grab a little bit of this one. It's a pretty floral. So let's see, I'll put that right down through there. So we're killing two birds with one stone here. I am using up scraps, making beautiful pieces for pockets and things. Just in general, pockets or journaling cards or whatever you want to make. And I'm using up some washi tape. Let's see, what else we got? Let's use a little of this. I don't think I've used any of this in a while. And you can see I'm not matching things up. I'm just going through and putting some things down. To me, sometimes I like that look. It doesn't have to always coordinate. Let's see, what do we want to put on here now? Let's just put a little bit of this ruler on here. If I can find the end of it. You know, I don't think some of these have an end. There we go. So right there. And I think that's all I'm going to put down. Everything else looks pretty good. Now you can trim the washi off right at the edge if you want to. I just tend to fold mine around because when I sew it, it's going to catch it anyway, so it's not going to matter. I'll just kind of fold it around to the back. Just like that. So there we go. We've got that ready. Now all we need to do is do a little stitching on here, or you can leave it as is. It's strong. You don't have to worry about, you know, anything coming apart. You could roll it up just like it is if you don't want to stitch. But I'm going to stitch on mine. So I'm going to do that real quick off camera, and then we'll come back and I will tie it up, show you how I kind of tie it up, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so here we are all stitched up. You can see our zigzag stitching down through there maybe. I think you can. And the stitching just makes it that much stronger. I think you can see it better on the back side. And now all you need to do is just, now you can go ahead and emboss this if you want to. I'm not going to emboss this one. I embossed my other one. So this one we're just going to roll up. And let me find something to roll this around. Okay, I'm just going to use one of these sponge brushes. I'm going to use the dowel rod on the end of it. You'll have to excuse my voice today. It keeps coming and going. It's all these allergies. I was hoping I could keep it up and not do any coughing while I was doing the video. Every now and then it just kind of goes away, and then it'll come back again. Okay, so I'm just rolling this up. Now you can always tape it on your little dowel rod if you want to get it started. That worked fine right there. And then I'm just going to even it up, pick it down, even it up. So there we go. And then I'm just going to grab a string. Let me grab this little piece of string. Now you can put a little piece of washi tape right here just to kind of hold it if you want to. Let's see what we got. Let's just put a little piece of this on the end, just so that when, you know, you open it up, it won't just spring open on you. or if you're giving it away to somebody. So just put that down to hold it together right there. Then we're going to take this string, just kind of put it around, let's see, I think about that much should be enough. I'm going to cut this off, and I can save that for something else. And then I'm just going to thread this button. This is just a little button from my stash, and this is probably a larger one than I need. But my daughter has my button jar right now. She was doing some things for COVID-19 people, and she was using my buttons. So I'm just going to use what's in my stash. So we're going to do that. And then we're just going to tie a little knot in the top of this. And then just tie a little bow off that. Oops, pulled the wrong one. There we go, and then I can clip that off a little. And there is your little fabric roll. It's either ready for your stash or ready to give out to a friend in some Happy Mail. And you can include a little note or something that lets them know what they can do with it if you want to. So I'm going to roll this one back up so that we can have them side by side. Okay, there we go with that one. And as you can see, this is quite a bit larger. I did that one really, really big. And this one, I just used a piece of my trim on. This is just a piece of satin ribbon. There you go. So there are 2 little paper rolls ready to go. Like I said, you can put these in your stash to use or send them to a friend. So I think they're super cute. And I can't wait to use some of mine in my journal. I will include a photo where I've used a piece of this in my journal for a pocket. Alright guys, that is just another quick and easy and simple way to use up your scraps and use up your washi tape. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.